Hey there, hope you're all having a great day. Hazmy here with some first day impressions of Babylon's Fall Early Access. Oh boy, where do I even start? I just finished a 12-hour session in the early access and I loved every moment of it. Before we begin, I would like to thank for the massive support for my Babylon's Fall content, and I would like to ask what information or videos would you all like to see more in the future? Let me know in the comment section if you have topics you're interested in. Thank you. So, I feel massively trolled by Square Enix and Platinum Games, since even though I personally like the beta and the demo, they don't even get close to the experience that the full game is. It's actually outrageous how misleadingly bland the demo in comparison is. And as I said, I was a fan of it. It's not doing justice. Straight after the demo progression, the first new biome and map just blows your mind with its environment and new enemy types. The mountain ranges of the forest biome feels like the whole oil paint idea was designed for this instead of the cities. So much more fitting, and even though the maps are linear, it doesn't feel bland or monotonous like the city maps from before. It feels fresh and enjoyable, and just the art style is super pretty. I just feel they improved the graphic filter as well somehow compared to the beta and the demo. It just seems a lot more artistic and less low fidelity. The backgrounds are gorgeous here. Difficulty is also ramping up massively since the demo. If you're not being careful about building your character, you will quickly run out of potions and find your gear inadequate to continue the main story. In fact, I'm at a certain checkpoint in the main story where you even have to take a break. You literally can't continue the main story because the difficulty ramps up so much. The item level that's required ramps up so much. But don't worry, it's not that you require insane grinding. It's rather that it's part of the plan, as they introduce side activities at this point that help you farm gear and learn the basics of character building. And this goes on to my next point, that it is so refreshing. This idea is so refreshing. It's nothing revolutionary, mind, but in every ARPG and MMO recently, for whatever reason, companies just jump the player on this boring, forced leveling that you have to slug through to get to the fun parts. It's like they create an end game that's fun, and then here's the leveling, and just get through it. It sucks, but just get through it. Babylon's Fall instead is designed that you will have to care about your progression from the get-go, even during leveling in the main story. It's not just about endgame. You will have to make builds and keep your character strong if you want to experience the full campaign, not to mention getting to endgame. And this is just so refreshing that they thought about it. Speaking of the campaign, while the demo and the beta barely revealed anything about the story, and I do not wish to spoil anything here, after 12 hours the game does deliver, and I think it has a charming way of storytelling. The story itself, all I will say, is not what I expected at all, and I'm really curious where it goes, as it caught me extremely off guard. The gameplay keeps improving after each level you complete, and as I said earlier, the difficulty really ramps up. The famous Platinum Games mechanics and gameplay is absolutely reflected in later levels, and the experience is night and day compared to the demo. I got my ass kicked on multiple bosses and got surprised by very bursty gameplay elements out of nowhere. And keep in mind, this is all just day one, low-level campaign. From all the bullet hells to all the AoE attacks on bosses and the mechanics, DPS mechanics, it's really engaging, and as I said earlier, I can only compare it to Nier Automata plus Final Fantasy XIV bosses combined. It's just really that fun. I've seen a good variety of biomes, environments, enemy types, and I'm happy to say that the usual problem of these games, that they get bland fast, is not there. Even though the linear map designs, they are using very creative level design elements to make the player forget that these are corridors, and the different jumping puzzles, traps, and more open areas help with it so much. You really just don't notice that it's linear. It's fun, and you progress seamlessly through the maps. I feel it is a little bit too early to talk about builds and equipment this early in the game, but as I said, the difficulty is present and I was forced to already look into using proper items and strategies because mindless mashing just doesn't work. It doesn't work on bosses and you have to use proper weapons and items, or you simply won't deal enough damage, or you simply won't have enough healing to stay alive. There are various DPS mechanics where you have to damage the boss out of enrage, or you will keep getting the blessing until you die, and there's nothing you can do. But in the end, instead of rambling on, what I meant to convey through this video is mainly that I had a blast, and if you only experienced Babylon's Fall in the demo or the beta, and it left you unsure about if it's a game that deserves your attention, do yourself a favor and give the game another chance. Look into proper videos of people who played the release and not just the demo, or look into gameplay, as it's night and day compared to what was shown pre-release. It's just not even close, and I think this game really deserves people's attention. There are valid criticisms if you don't like the art style, the graphics, or the grind, but so far this feels a really well thought out game with good mechanics, actual content so far, and I really hope it will succeed. Honestly, so far it looks very good. But as always, everyone, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.